first video where I come out, and I try not to do this often, not because I'm camera shy or because I'm too ugly to come out, but just because of the fact that I like to focus on the items that I am reviewing and keep the focus on that and not on me. However, due to the fact and due to the nature of this political video that I'm trying to do here, I did want to come out in person because there's nothing for me to show or review for that matter. Just wanted to do a follow-up video on JayHoc USMCR, whom he did a recent video related to a political topic. And I wanted to do something similar, but from a different perspective. You see, I am a naturalized citizen and born in a different country. I came here from South America, Venezuela to be exact, is where I was born, and my parents came here about 21 years ago, and I pretty much grew up here. And some of you might be saying, well, how can he be doing a political video on a country where he's not even from? I beg to differ. I think differently. I believe that a country is not exactly or necessarily where you were born, but a country is where you choose to live. And I have chosen to live here along with my family in the United States, and this has become my country. And I feel very passionate about it. I care for it. I love it as much as anybody else who was born here. And of course now my children are also from this country. They are born here, first generation. And I intend to teach them the same passion and love for this country as I have come to now appreciate and feel for myself. Now, getting on to the topic, it's related to what's going on here, all the political turmoil. So I just want to urge those of you who are citizens or who are looking forward to becoming a citizen to be active into this country. It's a great country. This country has offered my family everything that I need and have hoped for it and worked hard for. And I have a great appreciation for that. Now, what I want to speak about is my point of view about what's going on here. As you know, I come from a country which is now currently communist. To some, they may not agree with my point of view about what's going on in Venezuela, what has happened there over the course of 12, almost 13 years now. As you guys may or may not know, Chavez took over Venezuela, which was a free democratic country. Yeah, it had a lot of political issues beforehand, but I don't want to get into that. I don't even want to get into the historical side of as to what happened in Venezuela. What happened there is pretty similar to what happened in Cuba back in the 1950s when Castro took over. Fidel Castro, that is. And as you guys know now, the history in Cuba, the lack of freedom, all of the liberties that have been lost there, is something that happened to Venezuela as well. And how it happened is kind of what I want to focus on here. They actually lost their freedoms. But how does a country get to that point? How does a country get to a place where they lose their rights? They lose their voice? Well, I'll tell you how it happened. At least in Venezuela, where I was born. You see, they actually allowed the government to get so big to the point that the government is now the Constitution. You see, when Chavez took power, the first thing he did was actually trample over, step over, destroy, and pretty much eradicate the Constitution. He did with it what he felt was right to do. There were times where he came out and spoke about how antiquated it was and how it needed to be amended and changed. And so he did. He did. Didn't go through any voting, nothing. He just decided to change it because he felt it was right. And as the dictator that he was, he chose to do it, and he did. He went for it. So, with that in mind, Venezuela today is a country that has no more constitutional protection. The Constitution is what the government says it is. Freedom of speech, for example, non-existent. They are not allowed to speak against the government, or you will be persecuted. TV stations that do not concur with what the current political power is, they will be persecuted and shut down. As a matter of fact, there was a major network there, TV station that's been there since before I was born, got shut down and closed because they opposed the government. Gun rights. It's one of the first things that Chavez did to eliminate the violence, the huge violence that was going on in Venezuela. He took gun rights away. He decided to first just eliminate any more gun sales. So there are no more gun shops. You cannot legally buy or own a gun anymore unless you're police or law enforcement. Police or military. And that did absolutely nothing for the violence in the country. It has gone up more than ever. The insecurity levels are huge. There is no security. You cannot go out in the streets and feel safe because you can only count on the police or military, which most of you know how trustworthy that is, or reliable for that matter. So, what's next? Well, since that didn't work, they took away the arms. They confiscated them. I think about a year or two ago, before he died, it's when it actually happened. He decided, well, it's re-election time, let me do something more radical. He completely confiscated the firearms from those who were before the initial change that he did, which is to not allow anybody else to own any firearms. Well, then he went ahead and he took them away. That still didn't solve anything. And many other rights. You're not allowed to own more than a certain amount of properties. The majority of the properties that belong to the wealthy became confiscated by the government and were given to other people who had never even worked for it, did anything for it, to deserve it. Nothing. And many other things. I mean, they took over businesses. They took over, you name it. I mean, they can actually tell you what you can or cannot own, what you can or cannot say. And it keeps getting worse and worse. Now, how does that relate? What am I trying to say here? Am I trying to say that the United States is going to become a communist nation? That the United States is doomed for such a future like what happened in Venezuela or Cuba or many other countries like that throughout history? No, it's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's a little bit concerning to me to know that there is a possibility of the United States going towards that route. I have currently witnessed and seen so many infractions of the use of government and power and what they can and cannot do to us as a nation. It boggles my mind. It's just pretty much concerning. And I share JayHoc's, or maybe not all, but most of his comments in the video that he made. And I'm sure that's the way many people feel, and obviously to many different degrees as well, because not everybody has the same thought process. But you're right, JayHoc. What is the difference between a Republican and a Democrat? I don't know. And of course, there are supposed to be differences, but nowadays it's really hard to tell. And I'm not here to promote one political party versus the other, or whether or not I'm independent, or that's not what this is about. It's just to continue to raise that awareness of what JayHoc started. He said, wake up, America. Wake up. And I feel the same way. I feel like the country and the people therein are in a dormant state. Not all. I'm not putting everybody in the same basket. But the majority of the people are complacent. They feel like they deserve a bigger government. They feel like government is the solution to everything. And I wanted to give my perspective from an immigrant background, having come from a nation that has just suffered such a bad fate. And it's the last thing that I want for the United States at this moment. It's a little bit discouraging. However, if you don't speak up, if you don't do anything about it, if you don't go out and elect the right people to be in power, it's not going to change. We make up this country, not the government. So long as we choose people who are willing to uphold the Constitution, not forsake it, not change it, not want to do with it as they will, I think we can try to change the course of this nation. If we allow people to come in and trample all over the Constitution, and leaders and congressmen and senators and presidents to say what is or is not, then we're in trouble. So I end on this note. What can you do? What can we do? It's the question I ask. And I'm not speaking about picking up arms and going to protest and starting a war, but what can we do as a nation to make things better? Leave your comments down below. And I know it's very general, but leave your comments down below. Like, comment, dislike, thumbs up, down, whatever you want to do. It's a free country. And just let me know. Let me know how you feel, what you think about what's going on, and how ridiculous it's getting. I also want to take this time to thank all of my subscribers, all of the people who have supported me. I will post a link to a few channels down below, as well as on the screen. I'll post their names. They are great channels, what I consider to be growing channels, and they are part of the small channel community here in YouTube. So I thank the support that everybody has given me. I'm very grateful for it. I appreciate it, and I hope that I can return that favor and support as well. I will be doing some videos. I've heard of Don Luigi, who might come over and pay me a visit. He stopped by. I wasn't home last time, so he might do a little cameo there with Don Guido from JayHoc. So I think the mafia families are getting together, and they're trying to promote something good here, even though they're a little bit violent about it. JayHoc knows what that means. Anyways, thank you guys once again for watching, and I look forward to doing this. Maybe if you guys do like it, I'll do a little bit more. If not, then I'll continue doing my reviews. I really don't like the spotlight at all, but I just felt like I needed to take some time and speak about this. You guys take care. God bless. and God bless America.